Hey guys, and welcome to episode number 5 of D3Live. So today guys, we're going to talk games. So I'm going to go over some of the top games I'm looking forward to for 2010. Guys, this year has been fantastic for video games already so far. We've seen all kinds of just fantastic games such as Red Dead Redemption and many others. But guys, there's a lot more in store for the second half of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and go over 5 of the ones I'm really looking forward to. Of course, there are many more. But yeah. So guys, the first one is absolutely got to be Portal 2. If you've never played the original Portal, go play it right now. Guys, it's hard to explain. Portal is a very innovative game where basically you have a portal gun and you're able to shoot 2 portals between on one wall or on a ceiling and a roof or whatever, and you can walk from one to the other. It really messes with your head, but it's a fantastic game. It really lets you, go ahead and think about it. So guys, Portal 2 is coming out, and this time it's going to be a full game. Before it was already bundled with, in the orange box, with Half-Life 2 and Team Fortress. But guys, now it's going to be its own standalone game. It's going to be much longer, and it's looking fantastic. So guys, I'm absolutely looking forward to Portal 2. It's looking like a great game. So guys, the next one I'm looking forward to is Fallout New Vegas. So guys, I'm a huge fan of Fallout 3. I've played it a ton. I have all the expansion packs. It's a fantastic game, and I'm really looking forward to Fallout New Vegas. So guys, if you don't know about New Vegas, it's very similar to Fallout 3. A lot of the stuff, such as your Pip-Boy, menus, sounds, a lot of it, especially the game engine, has been recycled, but it's in a good way, as Fallout 3 was a fantastic game already. So guys, it's actually now over in, as you might have guessed, Las Vegas, in a sort of post-apocalyptic, nuclear Fallout world. Fallout 3. And guys, it looks really great. You're actually in Vegas, and you can do all the kinds of quests, and it's a ton of fun, guys. So I'm definitely looking forward to New Vegas as well. So guys, the third game, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have been really looking forward to this, is Halo Reach. So guys, Halo Reach is of course the final Bungie created Halo game. Now I'm sure there will probably be more Halo games in the future, but it doesn't look like they will actually be made by Bungie, so we'll just figure that out as we go. Guys, Halo Reach is the final installment. It's not exactly, it's not like ODST or anything like that. It's a bit of a different game. It doesn't actually feature Master Chief. But guys, it still looks really solid. There's been a playable beta out for a little while, so a lot of you guys have probably already played the online part. But guys, the full game, including the campaign, which is looking pretty good, and of course the great Halo Online multiplayer experience will be coming later this year, guys. So definitely looking forward to it. Halo Reach is looking like a great way for Halo to go out. So guys, the fourth game, and well, technically this isn't technically 2010. This should be out early next year, but I had to put something for the Wii out, and it is Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So guys, of course, this game really reminds me of Ocarina of Time. So of course, if you guys know, Ocarina of Time was probably one of the best video games of all time. So guys, that's definitely not a bad game to be compared to. So guys, Skyward Sword is of course for the Wii, and it really does seem to be focusing on the motion controls with the Motion Plus. So a lot of Wii games get into the the problems where they just don't seem very realistic. You're trying to aim and do different kinds of stuff like that, and it doesn't seem that great. But the Skyward Sword actually does look pretty good. So they did demo it at E3 this year, just a little while back, and it didn't work so well just because there was a lot of interference. But guys, we've seen lots of gameplay on it. It does look like a really innovative game. Probably it's going to be good enough for me to go ahead and go out, buy it, and go dust off my Wii and play it some. So guys, the final video game that I'm looking forward to, I am looking forward to more, but of course just gotta stick with 5. The final one I'm looking forward to is Gears of War 3. So guys, if you've never played Gears of War, it is of course an Xbox exclusive, but Gears of War 2 especially was a really great game, and Gears of War 3 looks even better. So guys, one thing that really sticks out about Gears of War 3 in my opinion is the graphics. So if you take a look at some of the recent PlayStation 3 games, such as Heavy Rain or God of War 3, for example, you can tell that the graphics are actually starting to, outpace the Xbox 360. But guys, if you take one look at Gears of War 3, you will really kind of doubt that, because Gears of War 3 is probably one of the best games looking for the Xbox 360. And of course, guys, it's still going to have the same great combat with, of course, some new enhancements. And in general, guys, of course, it is a bit of a violent game. It's not for everyone. But if you're into Xbox gaming, there's a good chance that you're going to go ahead and want to pick up Gears of War 3. So guys, there's a lot more games I'm really looking forward to, such as Gran Turismo 5, etc., etc. But those are the main ones that I've really kind of stuck out in my head, and I'm probably going to get pretty much every single one of them. Okay guys, so for the second segment of D3Live, I'll be taking live questions from Blogtv. Of course I read D3Live in front of it, and right now we have almost 50 people, which is really great. So we'll go ahead and take a few questions. Okay, so let's see here. Sony or Nintendo? Okay, that's a good question. I've traditionally been a Sony fan. My first system was, a PlayStation 1. I've really liked Sony, but in recent years, I really haven't. I mean, I had a PSP, I kind of got rid of it, I just really wasn't into it. I got an Xbox, and I never really bought a PlayStation 3, so right now I'm probably more into Sony. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Wii, but the DS is pretty good, and Sony and Nintendo both, but especially Nintendo has really put out a lot of really quality software, and especially, the games. The hardware is pretty good too, but they really specialize in just putting out great games, great franchises such as Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, really, really, really high quality stuff. So yeah, I'd have to go with Nintendo. Let's go ahead and go with a new one. Halo series, Battlefield, or Call of Duty? That's another good question. Well, Halo is obviously great. There's no beating. Halo 3 was a fantastic game. I mean, maybe not one of the best games of all time, like some people say, but it was a really good game. Several of the other recent games, such as Halo Reach, are looking pretty good. Also, Battlefield Bad Company, that was a really good game. Battlefield Bad Company 2 looks solid, but I'm probably going to have to go with Call of Duty. I'm not a big fan of Treyarch games, so a lot of the, for example, World at War was just not that great, but Modern Warfare, both 1 and 2, were really, really great. So I'd probably have to go with Call of Duty, but to be honest, if I have any one of the three in front of me, I'd probably play it, so it's not a big deal. What was my first console and first game? My first console was a PlayStation 1, and my first game for it was the original Gran Turismo. Guys, I played Gran Turismo so much, it's not even funny. So it was just like the first time, because I always used to play games in arcades. You still see them occasionally, but like the racing games, like Hydro Thunder, Cruisin' USA, a lot of really great games like that. So when I finally got a PlayStation, that was probably one of the first things I wanted. I wanted to play, PlayStation games such as, Gran Turismo and racing games. But yeah, I have this huge collection of PS1 games I just kept collecting. But yeah, Gran Turismo was the first one. Okay, do I like Lego games, like Lego Indiana Jones and Lego Star Wars? I think the Lego games are usually pretty innovative. I haven't really played very many of them. I've played a few of the original, like Lego Harry Potter. I've played a few Lego games, but in general, they're kind of fun, but to me they just seem a little bit, oriented towards just a little bit of the younger audience. That said, though, they are still really good games. What's the worst handheld I've ever had? That's a great question. Well, I've had quite a few. Most of them were Game Boys. I don't know if there's one that really sticks out in my mind as terrible. The PSP was not terrible by any stretch of the imagination, just that it was probably my least favorite. Either that or probably the original Game Boy Advance, just until I got the SP. The Game Boy Advance SP was fantastic, so probably either the PSP or the Game Boy Advance. But like I said, guys, I loved pretty much, I've never really had a bad, handheld, so it's not so much bad as just not really loved, I guess. I don't know. What's my favorite game released before 2000? That's a good question. Well, there's quite a few. I'd probably have to go with maybe like Gran Turismo 2. Guys, literally, I played Gran Turismo 2. The original I played quite a bit, but Gran Turismo 2 literally never left my PlayStation for a very long time. It was a fantastic game. I was wanting to play it every day for just weeks and months and months and months. It just never got old to me. There were hundreds of cars. The graphics for the time were fantastic. That said, though, guys, back then I really wasn't a big gamer. I was somewhat younger, so I really wasn't into a lot of the really cool games that I know about today. But back then, probably Gran Turismo 2. Okay, what's better, PS2 or Xbox? Well, if we're talking about that, I actually never did get an Xbox. I thought about it, but I ended up only having the GameCube and the PS2. That said, though, guys, yeah, I probably would go with the PS2. I did get it a little bit late. I got it towards when the Xbox came out. But yeah, the PS2 was a really solid platform. I mean, it obviously was like, the DVD player, which was really cool back in the day. But you also could play a ton of games, and I mean, the graphics were a huge step up. I mean, like I said, guys, I was playing the original PlayStation, so as soon as I saw PlayStation 2, I'm like, wow, that's awesome. But yeah, I'd probably go with the PlayStation 2. What do I think of Steam for Mac? That's another good question. I'm glad that Steam is for the Mac. I'm like many of you guys know, I'm more of a console gamer. I prefer to play on my Xbox or whatever. I do play a few games on my computer. But that said, though, guys, the spread out it is, because of course Macs have been just famous for just being really bad with gaming for quite a while. So now that Valve is actually stepping up, they've brought Steam over. They're really making a big effort to try to bring gaming to the Mac. I say it's great for them. It really gives you just one more reason to go ahead and get a Mac. You can't say that, oh, Macs can't play games. They still can't too much, but at least it's a step in the right direction. Let's go ahead and take one more question. Rock Band or Guitar Hero? Well, I used to be probably, back when, the original Rock Band came out, I was big into it, like I'm sure a lot of you guys were. I had the original Rock Band. I tried to get, Guitar Hero several times, but it's never worked with the Rock Band controller. I'm sure you guys probably had to deal with that too. So just because I never was actually able to get Guitar Hero, I played it. But really, I sat there and, guys, I mean, I spent forever, mastering the original Rock Band with the guitar, trying to beat all the songs on Expert and, get the gold stars and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'd probably have to go with, Rock Band. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's it for this episode of D3 Live, the kind of gaming edition, I suppose. Hey, if you enjoyed the content, absolutely subscribe. I frequently do D3 Live. I do them every Saturday. And I also do a multitude of other video games. I do tech, reviews, all kinds of stuff. And not to mention, if you guys want to see D3 Live again, I always do post a video on my channel right before I go live. So you guys go ahead, check it out, click the link, and go ahead and watch D3 Live yourself. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching.